What if the thing you believe is pushing you forward is actually holding you back? We live in a world obsessed with urgency. Notifications never stop, messages pile up, deadlines stack on top of each other, and everything feels like it needs to happen right now. It creates this constant pressure to move faster, do more, and keep up. But here's the paradox. When everything becomes urgent, we lose our ability to recognize what truly matters. Think about how we consume information today. We scroll endlessly, jump from one piece of content to another, and sometimes don't even listen. We watch on mute. It's almost like we've gone back to silent movies, not because we want to, but because there's simply too much noise. And in that noise, our brains try to cope by speeding up everything. We react instead of think. We move instead of build. And that's where the real problem begins. Because growth, real, sustainable growth, doesn't come from constant urgency.
It comes from order, from sequence, from doing things in the right way at the right time. When we skip that and try to rush everything, we spread ourselves too thin. We chase momentum without building the foundation that can actually support it. There's also a hidden cost to this urgency addiction. When leaders treat everything as urgent, teams start to lose their sense of direction. Priorities blur. People feel overwhelmed. Productivity drops, even though everyone is working harder than ever. And over time, something even more damaging happens. Burnout sets in. Not because people don't care, but because they're being asked to operate at maximum intensity all the time. And here's the truth. Humans aren't built for that. We're not machines that can run endlessly at full speed. We need clarity. We need structure. We need to know what actually deserves our attention. That's why the most effective leaders don't just push for speed. They design it. They understand that not everything should be treated equally. Some tasks are critical and need immediate action. Others are important but can wait. And some simply don't deserve urgency at all.
When you create that kind of hierarchy, something powerful happens. The noise starts to fade. People focus better. Decisions improve. And ironically, things often get done faster, not because of pressure, but because of clarity. There's another layer to this as well, understanding people. Not everyone works the same way. Some people thrive in structured, repeatable environments where consistency matters. Others are natural problem solvers, constantly looking for better, more creative solutions. If you put a creative problem solver into a rigid, high-speed production role, they'll struggle. Not because they lack ability, but because they're wired differently. And if you take someone who excels at consistency and throw them into constant ambiguity, the same thing happens. So part of reducing urgency isn't just about timelines, it's about alignment, putting the right people in the right roles with the right expectations. Because when people are aligned with their strengths, they don't need constant pressure to perform. They naturally move faster in the environments where they belong. And that brings us back to urgency itself.
Urgency isn't the enemy. In fact, it can be incredibly powerful. It creates energy. It drives action. It helps push things across the finish line, but only when it's used intentionally. When everything is urgent, urgency loses its meaning. And when that happens, even the things that truly matter start to slip. So the real challenge isn't eliminating urgency, it's controlling it. Being disciplined enough to say, this matters now, and this doesn't. Being thoughtful enough to give ideas time to develop, processes time to stabilize, and people time to perform at their best. Because success isn't about doing everything as fast as possible. It's about doing the right things in the right order with the right level of intensity. So the next time you feel that pressure, that need to rush everything, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this truly important or is it just loud?
Because the difference between chaos and clarity often comes down to that single question. And if you can answer it honestly, you won't just move faster, you'll move smarter.